Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is happy and well. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today speaking with you. I'm eternally grateful. What I would like to speak about today, let's get this mic going. That should be better. Everybody wants to manifest desires, right? Everybody wants to experience new states of mind, and new states of being. And you can be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That's been my experience, It's not something that I've just read in a book. It's something that I've embodied and experienced and continue to see in my three-dimensional reality. How do we do that? What we experience in life is what we experience in 3D in reality is the effect of the cause. The cause is always and always will be your thinking, right? So to experience different states in life, you must think in a different way. As I've grown along these lines, a part of me, which I believe to be my soul, has had to become the bouncer of my mental dialogue. So if I'm thinking anything that's not along the lines of my desire or my wish to be fulfilled, I kind of have to mediate and eliminate these thoughts from my mind. And the more that I've proceeded and protected my mind, the more I've begun to embody and experience and feel my desires. I think with manifestation and the law of attraction, the law of opulence, I think many are kind of missing the mark and not understanding what it is. To experience wealth, success, love, abundance, freedom, you must become those things, right? And I know it seems like and sounds like it's a very daunting task to become all of these things that you've never been done before. But not with understanding and knowing and living in truth, right? So you know the age-old saying, the truth will set you free, right? So what is the truth that I'm speaking about? The truth is that God, the creative intelligence, the creator of all things, created you and lives inside of you. You are immensely powerful, and if you're here, you are chosen to be here. It is not mere circumstance that you have the opportunity to experience this realm. This realm is a thinking realm. What you think mentally is what you will experience. The thought is the cause. 3D reality is the effect, right? So I experience the vast majority of what my thinking is. And that's extremely different from how I used to live my life in the past. In the past, my life was reactionary. I was not aware of what I even used to think about. I certainly did not set any intentions to become, to be, to have, to do, to see. I would just wake up and go about life, and I suffered immensely. So I'm obviously filled with gratitude to experience new and to think new and to be new, to be transformed by the renewal of my mind. We live in a society that's extremely instant. Everyone wants instant gratification, and becoming is not something that's instant. You have to persist in becoming what it is that you desire to become, regardless of what you are seeing, feeling, and experiencing outside. You have to remember in your heart that the mind is the cause, reality is the effect. So if you do not like the effect, you have to disregard it, not internalize it, and continue to work on the cause. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short, right? Because it requires discipline, it requires continued action, and it requires faith. And as I've navigated in living this way, my faith has just continued to grow. And my faith and what keeps me going and persisting is that I know it's absolute truth that God will lead me to my desired outcome. It's law. You know, like, I don't fret. I don't live my life in any kind of fear anymore. I'm not a victim of circumstance. With intention, I can cultivate my own existence with the power of God inside of me. The kingdom of heaven that is spoken about biblically is inside of you. To be saved biblically is to know the truth, to know that you are in control, and it is up to you to manipulate the energy around you to experience your heart's desires. I think a lot of people struggle with this concept because it's not their heart's desires that they're after, and that's not necessarily their fault. I just think in a world of social media, and glorifying of other people, you are watching other people experience their heart's desires, and you think that those are your heart's desires, and they're not. In order to really reach your heart's desires and to actually find out what those are, solitude is required. And I'm not saying you have to isolate yourself to the fullest extent. I've done that, and for myself it was necessary, and because it was so profound for me to live and experience these truths, and I've begun to realize that my whole entire existence I was never cultivating myself. I was just experiencing reality. So who knew me, who experienced me, I realized that they had never even experienced my authentic self, right? So I didn't want to be put in the box anymore that I was placed in by others, or maybe I had placed myself in, right? So I chose to be alone, but not one moment of it have I really been alone, because I've been with the Father, I've been with God, and I'm tuned in, I'm connected to Source, and my energy comes from Source, and my fire comes from Source, right? So I'm charged up, I am on a path, and gratitude is really the secret sauce, right? So if you are in the process of becoming, and you want to change, and the desire is to change, the faith that's going to keep you going and that's going to keep you strong is God. And like the faith in God, that like the truth is that God can and will do this, and with the power of God inside of you, you co-create with God, and God wants to experience your desires as you, through you. As I set out in this process, obviously, we want what we want, and we have these desires, right? But picture any relationship with anybody else in the world, right? How would you feel if the only purpose of the relationship that you had with somebody was them coming to you and asking you for things? That's not a reciprocal relationship, and I would assume that most people would not enjoy to be a part of something like that, right? So, although I desire, and although I yearn for what I yearn for, I'm detached, because I am experiencing bliss. And I am experiencing bliss because I am experiencing union with the Creator, and I don't have any morsel of doubt that I am not becoming and being and doing what I desire. It is fun, it is joyful, and it is a happy experience to be in union with the Lord and to co-create my existence. I don't fret, I don't live in fear, and it's different from what I really anticipated it to be. But I've grown in understanding as I've experienced more, and I've continued to seek, and as I have sought, I have found, and I have experienced truths and knowledge, and I continue to, and it's been extremely blissful, right? Aside from obtaining desire, whether it's wealth, success, love, maybe there's a specific person you would like to manifest, right? And all that is great. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I have desires, right? Fear is gone. And that's the most beautiful thing, right? I'm the captain of the ship now. Everything I do is intentional. My thoughts are intentional. I have a roadmap, and I know who I am becoming. And I don't have to doubt it, because I know the truth that God lives and dwells inside of me and is co-creating with me to experience my heart's desires. And when I visualize my heart's desires, tears flow down my cheeks, because they are my heart's desires. And God's abundance, He has everyone's heart's desires for them. I think one of the problems people experience is they're not actively really seeking their heart's desires. They're seeking manufactured desire. You go on Instagram and you see this car, you see somebody else's life, and like you think that that's what you want. And to an extent, maybe you do, but your heart's desires are so much easier to manifest and experience because they're genuine and they're authentic. And authenticity is an extremely high frequency, and God wants to give you your heart's desires. So we'll close it out with that, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I love you. Hey, buddy.